Good evening. This morning, an entire generation woke up to news that felt impossible. James Van Der Beek, Dawson Leary, the face of teenage angst in the late 1990s, the quarterback from Varsity Blues, the actor who defined what it meant to grow up in the golden age of teen television. He died today, Wednesday, February 11th, 2026. He was 48 years old, stage 3 colorectal cancer, diagnosed in 2023, public about it since November 2024, fighting until the end. And this morning at 6:44 a.m. in Travis County, Texas, James David Van Der Beek passed away peacefully. Tonight, I'm going to tell you about his life, his battle, and why his death matters beyond the loss of a beloved actor. If you want coverage that honors his legacy, that tells the full story, subscribe to Capital Prime right now, hit that bell, because this is about more than just a celebrity death. Let's begin. This morning, James Van Der Beek's wife, Kimberly, posted a statement to his Instagram account. Our beloved James David Van Der Beek passed peacefully this morning. He met his final days with courage, faith, and grace. There is much to share regarding his wishes, love for humanity, and the sacredness of time. Those days will come. For now, we ask for peaceful privacy as we grieve our loving husband, father, son, brother, and friend. Husband, father of 6 children, Olivia, Joshua, Annabelle, Amelia, Gwendolyn, and Jeremiah. Son, brother, friend. The Travis County Medical Examiner's Office in Texas confirmed the death was reported at 6:44 a.m. Number cause of death was officially listed, but everyone knows colorectal cancer. Stage 3, the disease he'd been battling publicly for over a year. Within minutes, social media exploded. Millennials and Gen X, the generation that grew up watching Dawson's Creek every Wednesday night on the WB, began posting tributes. Co-stars, friends, fans, all saying the same thing. This doesn't feel real, because James Van Der Beek was supposed to be fine. He looked healthy. He was working. He was advocating for cancer screening. He appeared on the Today Show in December 2025 and said he was really fortunate in an unfortunate diagnosis. And now, 2 months later, he's gone. Let me take you back, because if you weren't there, if you didn't grow up in the late 90s, you might not understand what Dawson's Creek meant. It premiered in January 1998 on the WB. James Van Der Beek was 20 years old, playing 15-year-old Dawson Leary, a kid from Cape Side, Massachusetts, who wanted to be the next Steven Spielberg, who was hopelessly in love with his best friend Joey Potter, played by Katie Holmes, who navigated friendship with Pacey Witter, Joshua Jackson, and new girl Jen Lindley, Michelle Williams. The show ran for 6 seasons. 128 episodes, and it defined a generation. The theme song, Paula Cole's I Don't Want to Wait. If you hear those opening piano notes, you're instantly transported back to 1998. To Wednesday nights at 8 p.m., to watching teenagers talk about love and sex and identity in ways that felt revolutionary for network television, Dawson's Creek made hyper-articulate dialogue cool. It made earnestness acceptable, it made crying okay, and Dawson, sweet, sensitive, neurotic Dawson, was the emotional center of it all. James Van Der Beek became a teen idol, the poster on bedroom walls, the face on magazine covers, the actor everyone knew, whether they watched the show or not. But here's the thing, Van Der Beek was never comfortable being just Dawson. He wanted to be more. He wanted to act. Really, and after Dawson's Creek ended in 2003, he spent the next 2 decades proving he could. James Van Der Beek didn't coast on teen heartthrob fame. He worked. In 1999, while Dawson's Creek was still on the air, he starred in Varsity Blues, a football movie that became a cultural phenomenon. He played Mox, the backup quarterback who has to step up when the star gets injured. The movie made $54 million at the box office. He cameoed in Scary Movie 2000, poking fun at his own Dawson's Creek image. He appeared in Jay and Silent Bob's Strike Back 2001. He starred in the sitcom Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23 Inches 2013, playing a fictionalized version of himself, a washed-up former teen star trying to stay relevant. And it was brilliant. He was self-aware. He was funny. He was willing to mock the very image that made him famous. He had recurring roles on How I Met Your Mother, One Tree Hill, Pose. He starred in CSI Cyber as FBI Special Agent Elijah Mundo. He competed on Dancing with the Stars in 2019. Vanderbeek worked consistently for 30 years. He built a career beyond Dawson Leary. He became a character actor, a dad, a husband. In 2020, he and Kimberly moved their family, 6 kids, from Los Angeles to a ranch in Austin, Texas. He wanted space, he wanted nature. He wanted his children to grow up differently than he did. And then in 2023, he got the diagnosis that would change everything. Stage 3 colorectal cancer, discovered during a routine colonoscopy. Vanderbeek went public with his diagnosis in November 2024. He told People magazine, "I'd always associated cancer with age and with unhealthy, sedentary lifestyles. But I was in amazing cardiovascular shape. I tried to eat healthy. I was doing cold plunges, and I had stage 3 cancer, and I had no idea the only symptom he experienced, a change in bowel movements." He chalked it up to coffee. There wasn't any red flag or something glaring, he said. That's the terrifying thing about colorectal cancer. It's silent, especially in younger people. By the time you notice symptoms, the disease is often advanced. Vanderbeek didn't know the screening age had dropped from 50 to 45. He thought he had time. He was 47 when diagnosed. If he'd screened earlier, maybe the outcome would have been different. After going public, Vanderbeek became an advocate. He appeared in a special called The Real Full Monty in December 2024, a 2-hour event raising awareness for prostate, testicular, and colorectal cancer testing. He gave interviews urging people over 45 to get screened. He talked about FDA-approved blood tests like Shield. He partnered with Louisiana health officials just weeks before his death, telling residents, "Don't wait, don't think that not having symptoms means you don't have to get across." In December 2025, he told Today.com that living with cancer was a full-time job. He said it would probably be a process for the rest of my life. But he also said something remarkable. He told an interviewer that cancer was the best thing that had ever happened to him, not because he wanted it, but because it forced him to live differently, more intentionally, more spiritually, more present with his family. The trickiest thing is there are so many unknowns with cancer, he said. You think, how do I fix this? But you can't always fix it. In September 2025, Vanderbeek missed a Dawson's Creek reunion charity event in New York City. Fans were worried. He dropped out due to ongoing health issues. But then, during the live reading of the show's pilot episode at the Richard Rodgers Theater, Vanderbeek appeared via video. Projected on stage, Lin-Manuel Miranda had been reading his part, and then James appeared on screen. "Thank you to every single person here," he said. The crowd went wild. It was supposed to be triumphant, but looking back now, it feels heartbreaking, because that was one of the last times fans would see him. By February 2026, his health had deteriorated quietly. His family surrounded him at their Texas ranch. And this morning at 6:44 a.m., he passed away peacefully. Close friends and family have already launched a GoFundMe to support Kimberly and their 6 children. The outpouring has been immediate. Within hours of the announcement, Hollywood began paying tribute. Sarah Michelle Gellar, who starred in Buffy the Vampire Slayer during the same 90s era, posted, "This one hurts." James was one of the good ones. "My heart is with Kimberly and the kids." Chad Michael Murray, who worked with Vanderbeek on One Tree Hill, wrote, "You inspired a generation of us. Rest easy, brother." Joshua Jackson, Pacey from Dawson's Creek, hasn't posted publicly yet, but sources say he's devastated. The two remained close friends for nearly 30 years. Katie Holmes posted a photo of her and Vanderbeek from the Dawson's Creek pilot. No caption, just the image. Because what do you say when someone you grew up with, someone the world watched you grow up with, is suddenly gone? Michelle Williams, who played Jen, released a statement through her publicist. "James was kind, talented, and taken far too soon." My thoughts are with his beautiful family and the fans. The fans are grieving like they lost a friend because In a way, they did. Dawson Leary wasn't just a character. He was a voice for a generation of kids who felt too much, who loved too hard, who didn't know how to be cool and didn't care. Let me tell you why this matters beyond nostalgia. Colorectal cancer is now the leading cause of cancer deaths in men under 50. It's surpassing breast cancer as the leading cause in women under 50. Read that again, the leading cause. Rates have been increasing by 1% to 2% per year since the mid-1990s in people under 55. Doctors call it a crisis. We're seeing even some teenagers now. We see lots of 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds, people that have zero reason to get screened, said Dr. Arpana Parikh of Massachusetts General Brigham. Why is this happening? Genetics, diet, physical inactivity. Processed foods, environmental factors, nobody knows for sure. What doctors do know, early detection saves lives. If caught early, colorectal cancer is highly treatable. But people aren't getting screened because they think they're too young. They think it's an old person's disease. James Van Der Beek thought that too. He was healthy, he exercised, he ate well, and he still got stage 3 cancer. The screening age dropped from 50 to 45 a few years ago for this exact reason, and Van Der Beek spent his final year urging people, get screened at 45, don't wait. His death is tragic. But if it convinces even one person to get a colonoscopy to catch cancer early to survive, then maybe his advocacy will save lives he'll never know about. This morning, James Van Der Beek died at 48. Husband, father of 6, actor, advocate. He gave us Dawson Leary. He gave us mocks from Varsity Blues. He gave us laughter in Don't Trust the Bee. And in his final year, he gave us a warning, get screened, don't wait. Cancer doesn't care how old you are. His wife, Kimberly, said there's much more to share about his wishes and his love for humanity. Those days will come. For now, we grieve. Subscribe to Capital Prime, because we're going to keep covering this story and the colorectal cancer crisis affecting young people. Let me know in the comments, do you remember watching Dawson's Creek? And will you get screened because of James Van Der Beek's advocacy? This is Capital Prime. Rest in peace, James. We'll miss you.